Hi everybody. I just wanted to give you a little bit of video feedback on the rough drafts of your paper to go alongside the verbal feedback, the written feedback that's in the grade book. So essentially we're going to be following the same format that we did when we put together the public shaming paper, except that we're going to expand upon the ideas more because of course this is a longer paper than that was. So you'll begin in the same way with a catchy opening that captures your reader's attention. And then you're going to discuss your topic, transition into the discussion of the topic, giving a brief summary of the outlines, both for and against, what your proponents say, what your opponents say, and then you're going to transition into your thesis statement. Then the next thing that you'll do is you'll notice that you've listed your reasons, of course, in the thesis statement, just as we did in the public shaming paper. So it'll be something like marijuana should be legal, and then list reason 1, reason 2, and reason 3. And maybe you have more than 3 reasons. You could even have 4 or 5, depending on what your research brought to you. So then you'll take that first reason and you'll create your topic sentence, just like we did with the public shaming paper. So marijuana should be legal because of its use in medical situations and how helpful and useful it can be. And then you'll go on to discuss that argument, giving your evidence, your research from your scholarly work, discussing that evidence, analyzing it, picking it apart, determining whether or not you agree or disagree with it, and transitioning into your opponent's argument. So that would be the reason that we did that opposition paper, to give you some experience in taking a look at the opponent's viewpoint, and I provided that sample for many of you. After you discuss the opposing argument, you'll go into the rebuttal and then present your evidence for the rebuttal, finally concluding that first argument, and then you're going to transition into the next one. And you can use that checklist that I post in the announcement section for the rough draft. Use that checklist and go through it step by step as you expand on each argument. Now, many students find that they have some trouble meeting that 8 to 10 page requirement, and the reason for that is because they simply haven't gone through all of those steps that are laid out in the checklist for the body of the paper. So if you return to that checklist often and make sure that you've hit on all those target areas, you'll find that you'll be able to expand your paper to fit that 8 to 10 page length requirement. Finally, after you've taken us through all of your arguments, following that same procedure, you'll transition into your conclusion. And as before with the public shaming paper, your conclusion won't have any new information. You're not going to be bringing in any new research, evidence, or ideas. You'll simply just summarize the arguments that you presented, and that will wrap up your paper. You'll of course want to include your in-text citations for all of the research that you did in the body of the paper, and that's really the only place that I'll see any in-text citations. And then of course you'll have the reference page at the bottom in APA formatting. And that wraps up the revisions that you'll do to your rough draft. Please let me know if you have any questions.